Welcome everyone to this August 3rd edition of What's Happening in Crypto with Crypto Lark, broadcasting to you from New Zealand and bringing you all of the latest from the crypto world and beyond, thanks to the good folks over at cryptonews.com. Today's top stories: Ripple partnering up with yet another celebrity. For some reason, people are still asking Paul Krugman what he thinks about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and marriage goes on the blockchain. Bitcoin, $7,573, still down big time on the 7-day. The real story, though, is that the altcoin markets are absolutely getting savaged. Definitely a tough time to be holding a lot of bags. Ripple partners with Madonna to fundraise for orphans in Malawi. Now, Madonna has long had a focus on Malawi. She actually has 4 orphans from there, which is an amazing gesture of altruism to take these people and give them a just totally different life. Now, to celebrate her 60th birthday, she is raising $60,000 to help orphans in Malawi. Ripple is jumping on the bandwagon here, though, and saying, well, we're going to match dollar for dollar, so I would assume that they will hit that $60,000 fundraising goal. It's not a big goal, especially for Madonna and her audience and her friends. Ripple, of course, looking to get a bit of PR on the side with that. And Ripple's been doing a lot of great PR work in terms of, funding Ellen DeGeneres, for example, and the work she's doing. Looking at when they funded all of those different school projects across the USA. Here, of course, helping those orphans in Malawi. Obviously, they do need a bit of positive PR this week because obviously they're paying Bill Clinton a hefty fee to come and speak at the Swell Conference. Now, we don't know exactly how much they're paying Bill. Maybe Bill's doing it for free. I highly doubt it. Bill Clinton's not that kind of person. But they might be paying him up to $500,000 to come and speak. It just speaks of corporate priorities. Pay Bill Clinton $500,000, one of the most influential men in the world, and someone who already has plenty of money, but we can give a little bit of breadcrumbs to the orphans over in Malawi who really need that help. Paul Krugman coming out saying that cryptocurrency has set the monetary system back 300 years. Big statements from the Nobel Prize winning economist Paul Krugman. Now, he has come out with a few different things that I would like to address. He says transferring Bitcoin or other cryptocurrency units requires providing a complete history of past transactions. Instead of money created by the click of a mouse, we have money that must be mined, created through high resource intensive computations, he said. He looks at this as a negative, that the history of that money can be tracked. This is indeed one of the key value propositions of Bitcoin. You can't double spend it. You can't just create money by the click of a mouse out of thin air, Paul. This is exactly what the United States government is doing. They just click a button and make new money. And that leads to inflation. That is problematic. That is why we've seen the US dollar decrease in its purchasing power so much over the years, because the US government just keeps printing money at the click of a mouse. That is a fundamental problem for money, whereas Bitcoin is deflationary, whereas Bitcoin cannot be double spent. Bitcoin cannot simply be created by the click of a mouse. He's either being intellectually dishonest or he fundamentally doesn't understand Bitcoin. Now, he goes on to say that his second issue is that cryptocurrencies, in comparison to fiat currency, have no backstop, no tether to reality. Their value depends entirely on self-fulfilling expectations, which means that a total collapse is a real possibility. If speculators were to have a collective moment of doubt, suddenly fearing that bitcoins were worthless, well, bitcoins would become worthless, says Paul. Now, look, obviously cryptocurrencies currently are very volatile. We've seen a lot of run-ups in valuations. I think long-term that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will continue to gain in value relative to dollars and euros and pounds and yen and all these different fiat currencies. But the thing that he is willfully ignoring here is that fiat currencies in the history of fiat currencies has not been one of extreme success. Look at the devaluation of the dollar. Look at runs on currencies in countries. This moment of collective doubt happens with fiat currencies. Talk to people in countries all over the world that have seen massive hyperinflation hit their countries, where they go to the bank and there's a line and you can't take the money out. Your money's worth nothing even if you do get it. This happens, and just because we are currently sitting in a nice little comfort zone with euros and dollars and pounds, they're not as safe as they are purported to be. So again, I find him being a bit intellectually dishonest with his arguments here. The Australian state government invests in crypto startup to promote regional tourism. Now, they have invested in Travel by Bit. We've covered them before here on the channel. They are the ones that helped the town in Queensland, Agnes 1770, to become a crypto-friendly tourism destination by getting all the businesses in town to start accepting cryptocurrencies, so you can now pay for your coffee or go for a tour of the Great Barrier Reef paying in crypto. They've been a big pusher behind getting the Brisbane airport on board with crypto as well. This is really great to see a nod from the state government to say, you know what, this crypto thing could really have something to it. We want to be involved. We want to support companies that are going to help bring those crypto dollars, so to speak, crypto bits, to our shores. So really cool move from the Queensland state government. Brazilian cryptocurrency exchange wins injunction against bank who closed its account. We have seen this story so many times in Chile, in Singapore, and in a long list of countries around the world where banks are independently deciding to shut down cryptocurrency exchange bank accounts or freeze their bank accounts. And the judges, the courts, keep coming out and saying, you can't do that. They're a customer just like everybody else. Just because maybe they threaten your business model or you think there's something dirty going on there, you can't just close their accounts. And I'm really encouraged to see that all over the world, the courts continue to rule in favor of cryptocurrency exchanges and against the banks. Overstock subsidiary partners with the Zambian government on blockchain land registry. Obviously, land registry is a massive issue globally, with the majority of people globally being unable to prove that they actually own their land. Land registry is a very important issue in developing countries in particular. To see them coming in and saying, we want to help bring your land registry onto the blockchain where it will be an immutable ledger of land registry is really cool. And this could mean very interesting implications for Ravencoin moving forward. Sony patent filings hint at work on crypto mining hardware. The big boys are getting into it. GMO Internet, Samsung, Sony, everybody wants a piece of the crypto mining action. Bitmain, you are being put on notice here. The competition is coming. Now, Bitmain does have a long head start on these companies in terms of providing that crypto mining hardware, but it is really good to see so much competition coming into the crypto space. And finally, marriage on the blockchain. Now, this article refers back to actually the Brock Pierce Rolling Stone article where Brock was discussing that with his wife, they actually have a smart contract on the Ethereum blockchain. But the idea is a very compelling one, because right now what we have is an old paper system. You go and sign some things with some person who has nothing to do with you and your partner. Whereas if you could have an Ethereum-based contract, one that might change its terms on an annual basis, one which you could both decide to renew on an annual basis. That's a very interesting idea. That is an innovation in some of the institutions that we take for granted in society. The institution of marriage is something that I think needs to be disrupted. And this idea could really be a disruptive one. Now all we need is some multi-million-dollar ICO to be putting that in a tokenized form. It's probably going to have, someone's probably already doing it. But just to be able to put that smart contract in a very simple way on the Ethereum blockchain already works. You don't need an ICO for it, but it is a compelling idea. So question to everyone out there, would you put your marriage on the blockchain? Thanks so much for watching today's episode. Let me know what you think about any of the stories down below in the comment section. Thumbs up the video and share these videos around the internet to help our community grow. Make sure you check out the conversation over on Twitter. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time.